And so now, how, again, this was the question why I started this. So how do we read the informational field? One was intuition, but how do we get intuitive? And it's the, to all questions you can ask, I tell you, you will not find one question that cannot be answered with the concept of healing in your life. I tell you, there's not one question. If you come to one, from one, it's one of those to me, and I cannot answer it, you get like a, you can choose any applicator for the core system and give it to you for free. It's the same. Let's say like this. For example, why do we have to sleep and to sleep, waking, sleeping, day and night? Why do we have seasons? Let's say, for example, if you just look at areas where there is no seasons, let's say the equatorial area around the planet, equator, there's no seasons. There's, like Brazil, the Amazonas, or the Sahara, that's about it. There's no development of cultures there, because it needs this input of the seasons, day and night, male and female. Yes, these are all a stimulus that is, of course, sometimes the reason for discomfort. As I mentioned, you would have only women, life would be much easier, or only men. You would have so little relationship issues anymore. But this is the issue that we don't realize, so we try to get out the polarities. We try to get rid of the contradictions. And that's why we get sick. That covers 90% of all their problems. Maybe in the end even more. So if you look at this from this side, at what comes up in the core system, we understand much more. We don't think, well, liver comes up here, but he has problems in his gallbladder or in his foot. What's the liver? Yes? Because we look at it from a purely mechanistic, material point of view. Liver is something that means something. What does the liver mean? It's a detoxifying organ. So if he has problems with detoxification, he cannot get rid of some information maybe in his head that's continuously disturbing him. So we have to completely see this body and all the events in our life as a message board. And then we can read it. And then also, the next thing is we have to understand that the special things, especially those things that are right on the point, the client and maybe ourselves will not understand. Because if you understand, you already know the connection, you already can resonate. So don't be concerned about things that come up in the core that neither you or your client can make out. Often it's, of course, easier that you can see it in the client, but the last person who can see it is the client himself. Why? Because he's in it. That's his area of stuckness, of attachment. Yes? So that's why we have this minus and plus. When something comes up in minus, it's more likely that the person cannot make any connection to this, what comes up. So it's really, core is so easy to use, but you generally have a tendency, everybody has a tendency to make it really complicated. Because it really is a tool for awareness. Yes, it's a tool for awareness. And we don't want to be aware. That's really a big understanding. We have to understand we don't want to be aware of those things we are missing out, that we always want to keep trying to be the same. We don't want to. Because this is the force of nature, of matter and energy. matter and energy wants to continue in one direction with the same force and same momentum. It's the basic law of nature. Nature doesn't help us in this respect. It keeps us where we are. But there's the opposite force, that's the spiritual force, working through the informational realm, that wants us different. They want us to change and evolve and be open to change. Yes?
I find that emotion, namely fears, blocking. Why are people so afraid? If we can probe into what's good for us, the information source.
Well, it's so interesting. You see easily in your client what is missing for him and what's not good for him. Yes? Like, let's say, for example, he's smoking. I mean, it's obvious it's not good for you. Then the health minister writes even on the package, smoking will kill you. So the health minister thinks this is helping anyone. Actually, every year they sell more and more. And this message will create more and more fatality from smoking, because you smoke and then you have the information each time in front of you. So this will kill you, okay? That's it. So, okay. 1 million times smoking, having the good time while having this message. It's the best possible way to kill people. Yes, we don't know that the biggest murderer is the health minister who copies this stuff. Yeah, this is totally only possible because we are unaware of the power of information, and it's all just now becoming so obvious that we make as a humanity, as many, not the humanity will not never change, but as certain individuals, greater number of individuals, in this DD, in this polarity, in this obvious contradiction, they make the jump, the quantum leap, yes, that because it's just too painful to see this and to realize this, and then you cannot stay the same anymore. So that's why it is so easy to use the core, and that's why it's so difficult. Angelica, you just got it like a few months ago, and she just said to me she has very good results with people, and they come with something, but they change their life in totally unexpected ways, yes, and that's the best way. But we can, of course, we can really not, well, we cannot really help much, but we can do a lot of wrong things by intellectualizing the results. Or even asking the client, well, do you think that's correct or not correct, or do you think this is, what does this mean? You don't need to understand. Just like it works for plants and animals, it will work for people even better if they're not blocking. Like homeopathy always has worked better for children. Why? You see, homeopathy is usually said, well, it's a belief medicine. This is again total nonsense, because children, it works better for children. They don't even have to believe in it. They don't even know what belief is. So it works better without belief. So this is another completely revolutionary idea, that belief in all informational medicine is actually contraindicated. It's opposing. And this, I'm writing this also on the forum, and the science of transurfing reality breaks with all this nonsense. Belief keeps you where you are. It's a desperate attempt to stay in these loops, repeating and repeating the same things because you believe. You say, this is it, this must be it, that's the truth, that's the ultimate. So this is the best way for you to make sickness and eventually death necessary. Belief is the best way, and that's also the best way to make the work of core very difficult. It's not that your clients have to believe in this, it's the worst. They have to start questioning their own belief system. That's what it is.